This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Cali, the Shot-Town is Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to KIEQ on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the likes.
The Chicago Bears may have the perfect opportunity to make another bold move. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of KIEQ on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, make sure you also do me a huge favor by also hitting the like button on today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic. So, Bears fans, before I go any further with today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, BetUS. I know personally that I'll be making all my bets all season long through BetUS, and they are currently offering a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. And Bears fans, you have to check this out because the current odds for the Chicago Bears win totals this season is now set at 8.5 wins. And you guys know me, I'm an optimistic Bears fan. So I'm definitely taking the over on this 8.5 wins for the Chicago Bears this season. And you guys can make that exact same bet by using my special link down below in the description of this video. Go have some fun and bet Chicago Bears all season long with BetUS. But Bears fans, please gamble responsibly. All right, Bears fans, I have a pretty good topic of discussion today on today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic. If we have learned anything about our general manager, Ryan Poles, over his first couple of seasons here in Chicago, is that he has no issue in being aggressive and making a move that will help the Chicago Bears roster. 2 years in a row, Ryan Poles has made an aggressive move by trading a second-round pick for an established player that he thought could actually help this roster succeed. In 2022, the Bears traded for wide receiver Chase Claypool, and we gave up a second-round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We all know that situation didn't work. But then in 2023, the Chicago Bears and Ryan Poles traded for Montez Sweat from the Washington Commanders, and they also gave up a second-round pick. And it seems that everything is actually coming together for Ryan Poles to actually make another bold move to help this roster. And this time it would be for the Chicago Bears offensive line. As we all know, this offensive line for the Bears has looked dicey during training camp. Obviously, as we hear reports, Caleb Williams is running for his life. The offense is struggling to find a rhythm, and that is because the inconsistencies of the offensive line and also due to injuries to guys like Nate Davis, Tevin Jenkins, and even Darnell Wright. And they don't really even have a for sure option at center as well. I know Coleman Shelton and Ryan Bates are sitting there battling it out for the starting center job for this Bears offensive line. But Bears fans, with all these factors in place, plus the fact that Ryan Poles has 2 2025 second-round picks at his disposal, Ryan Poles could actually push for another bold move to really elevate this offensive line here in Chicago. It all comes down to Ryan Poles just waiting for the right opportunity to make a move. And this is where the Kansas City Chiefs come into play. Offensive lineman Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith could be potential trade targets for the Chicago Bears very soon. And when you're looking at guys like Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, ever since they were drafted in the 2021 NFL draft by the Kansas City Chiefs, Creed Humphrey is now a 2-time Pro Bowl center in the National Football League. And Trey Smith is one of the most underrated guards today in the National Football League. The problem is that both of these players are coming up on contract years. And obviously the Chiefs' plan is to try to pay them both. But the Chiefs only have $13 million in cap space next season. So it may be hard for the Kansas City Chiefs to pay both Creed Humphrey and a guy like Trey Smith. And we're not even talking about, they also have to pay other guys like star linebacker Nick Bolton and dependable starting safety Justin Reed as well. So it may actually force the Kansas City Chiefs to either trade a guy like Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. The funny thing about this, Bears fans, is that the Kansas City Chiefs have actually been in this situation before. In 2018, they traded star cornerback Marcus Peters. The next year, they traded a Pro Bowl edge rusher to the 49ers in D Ford. Then in 2022, they traded Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. All those guys they really wanted to keep, but they just didn't have enough money in the cap space to give those guys contracts, so they had to trade those guys away. So what I'm saying here on today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic, Bears fans, is that Ryan Poles needs to keep a close eye on this situation in Kansas City, because adding either one of these guys in Creed Humphrey or Trey Smith would really elevate the Chicago Bears offensive line. If I really had to choose between the two, talking about Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, I would definitely hope that we would be able to land a guy like Creed Humphrey. When you look at Creed Humphrey, he's only 25 years old, has been a stud for the Chiefs O-line ever since he was drafted in 2021. He's already a two-time Pro Bowler at the position. He's excellent in pass protection, and the best thing about Creed Humphrey is that he is durable. Through his first couple of seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs, he has yet to miss a game. And honestly, as a Bears fan, that is music to my ears, because we always deal with injuries along this offensive line. And we also have to add, Bears fans, is that the Chicago Bears haven't had a quality, durable starting center for a very long time. And that has been a position of need for the longest time, and something that Ryan Poles really needs to address. So if this situation arises where the Kansas City Chiefs are open to business and either trading Creed Humphrey or Trey Smith, I think if I were Ryan Poles, I would call the Chiefs and ask about Creed Humphrey. And Bears fans, I know this may be a pipe dream for the Chicago Bears, but I think Ryan Poles, especially with the connections that he has with the Kansas City Chiefs organization, I think he should keep a close eye on the situation. Maybe the Kansas City Chiefs are able to pay all their guys, but with $13 million in cap space next year, I think they are going to have to consider either letting a guy like Nick Bolton or Justin Reed or Creed Humphrey or Trey Smith. They are going to have to decide which guys they want to keep, and they're not going to be able to keep everybody. So especially when it pertains to Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, Ryan Poles should definitely be on the lookout, because either one of these guys would really help this Bears O-line. So overall, Bears fans, like I said, this is not guaranteed to happen, but I definitely wanted to bring this to your guys' attention, because maybe we get lucky and maybe the Chiefs are shopping Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith and we're able to land one of these guys to really help our offensive line here in Chicago. But before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. If this was actually to happen, which player would you rather have on your offensive line? Center Creed Humphrey or guard Trey Smith? Let me know down below in the comment section. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of KIEQ on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. And once again, make sure you go to the link down below in the description of this video to go bet on the Chicago Bears all season long with BetUS and receive your 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposit up to $2,000. Make sure, once again, to gamble responsibly, Bears fans. But other than that, Bears fans, I'll be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on KIEQ on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't KIEQ on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't KIEQ on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't KIEQ on the mic.